years and what you will be seeing happening in the area where the new school will be going. We have Alan here from PDT who will be able to answer some of our questions, and I'll try to answer whatever you have too. I guess we could start with Alan coming up, kind of talking about the timeline, and we'll answer the questions that you have, but how are we going to advance the slides? Just touch it?
Yeah, I'll just do this.
So we're looking at phasing. These are phasing, like right now, actually, if you were to drive behind County Federal Credit Union, you'll see some earthwork being done. That is the new location of the superintendent's office. And they're starting to do preparation now, and building will be shortly. They're going to lay a slab. It's going to be on a slab. There'll be no foundation. The state awarded us about $500,000, $500,000 to build this office. It's roughly a 3,500 square foot building. The bid came in a little higher, came in at $575. The second bid came in at $597. Which is amazing to think that a building in that size would cost that much money. We were able to get it down to around $525, and there's some contingency funds within the state that covered the $25,000. So it cost the locals zero. It doesn't cost us any money. So that's the first kind of activity you'll be seeing, and Alan will go through the first slide.
So here's the Wellness Center, here's the Education Building, here's T Park, here's the middle school, pool, here's where the central office building is going. You can see them out there working on that right now. The intent is to complete this central office building by November 30th so that they can move out and get into this new facility. It will also allow us to start to get some of our permitting in alignment. The other thing that we're going to be doing probably July to August is we'll be taking down the St. Pierre house that's out there along Bennett Drive.
So the St. Pierre house is right off Park Street next to the Irving. The school department did buy that for $64,000. We had to have a couple appraisals done, and it's part of the project, so the state reimbursed the money for the $64,000 back to the school department. So that building you'll see be tore down, like Alan said, between July and August.
So the central office building and the St. Pierre house will be two separate parcels outside of the general project of the school, okay? So right now, we're working on our drawings. We're finishing what's called, the design development phase, which is about halfway through our production drawings, if you will. We're intending to go out to bid the beginning of this next year. Okay, we'll put the project out to bid, and we'll have separate phases within that bid. Okay, the contractor has to do this, and he has to do this, and he has to do this. Okay, but they will be responsible for all of the work from there on to the end of the project when the project gets occupied. We're looking at a completion date of 2020, and so I'll go through the rest of the slides of the phasing, if you will. So, phase 2, once the project goes out to bid, April 2018 to November 2018. The next thing we want to do is we want to demo the Learning Center, and we want to build the new T Park. It's going to come over here, and we're going to build that new park. Okay? That's going to happen between April and November of this next year. Okay, once that happens, it'll free us up to use T Park. Okay? And that will be, or the former T Park, if you will, and that will be between April of 2018 and January of 2020, okay? So that happens, this comes down, that moves over, the school gets built, okay? We also put on our biomass plant over there, the St. Pierre house is gone, the central administration building is built, okay? So that gets us, that's phase 3, demo existing park, build new school, and the biomass plant.
So the idea there was not to delay the city of Carew Park. So we wanted to make sure the park was being built first before the new school was being built. So this will be the last summer that the park will be in use. Next summer, the recreation programs will be centrally located right here at the high school. The ski building that they call it, the multi-purpose building that we have here by the soccer field, will be the home base for the rec department, and they'll be able to use all the school facilities for the kids' programs while we're demolishing the park and building a new park. So there'll be no kind of interruption for the children in the rec center, but we're just going to work together to make sure that all kind of goes through. So.
Now, what about alternative ed? Are they doing that at the same time?
Good question. Alternative ed and let me think here. We'll be coming up here to the high school, to the tech center. So we'll have alternative ed and alternative ed both. Adult ed and alternative ed will be housed here at the high school between the tech center and the high school. There's a wing that has, we kind of vacated, and was in the budget that we revamped it into alternative ed and adult ed. So right here.
At the same time, you will?
Correct. Yeah, so come November, there'll be nobody left in the learning center. They'll have to go through it to do all the hazardous materials that are in it, and then once that's out, then they'll be able to tear it down. So, and by then, hopefully, we'll have this facility ready. We've been working on it since we knew we were going to have to do that.
So, I was going to say, one of the things you'll note on the plan here, the phasing plan, is that we haven't really, we're still working on the pool complex in terms of its timing and when that's going to fold into the phase, when that's going to come down. We're still going to have, while we're building a new school, students will still be in middle school, they'll still be in Teague Park School. Okay, so we just want to be cognizant of the safety and the whereabouts of the students while construction is going on, the amount of space we need for a lay-down area for the contractor, et cetera. So we're still, that process to be decided. So here is phase 4, and this is between February, March of 220 and August of 220. We're going to demo the middle school, and we're going to do site work. We're going to do the parking. This means that the middle school are going to be the first folks to move into the new school. Maybe. Okay. We're still working out those details. And then the next phase, if you will, phase 5, is to get the Teague Park students moved into the new school, and then take down Teague Park School, and then do the rest of the site work, do all the play fields, do the playgrounds, do the rest of the site work. And that's going to happen between June of 2020 and October of 2020. So I guess part of the message here in terms of the schedule is once things start to roll after the beginning of this next year, there's going to be 2 years plus of construction in chunks of construction, but it's going to be done by the same contractor. So they'll be responsible for choreographing all those pieces.
Yeah, so this time next year will be a very busy event on Bennett Drive with all the construction that we'll have in place there. The only reason why I said maybe on the middle school is we're kind of just, as educational leaders, we're not sure if we want to move everybody at once or break it up that way. And there is an issue with the middle school and the parking, so at some point we may have to modify a schedule for the middle school children to get out of school early or start school later, so we can demo the middle school and build a parking lot. So we've got a couple options on the table there, what we could do with that. So, because that's the last big transition. Tearing down T will not be a factor because the kids will be out in the middle school by then. So it's just the middle school because we need it for parking in that space.
This is the overall site plan, and there's one up here to the back on the boards. So after our presentation, if you want to gather around those boards and you have more questions, we can talk about that. Oh yes, we're going to talk about that. So anyway, when we get done, we're going to have a finished site.
we'll have a new parking lot, we'll have a new school, we'll have play areas. Today we had a couple of meetings related to playgrounds and the use of the space outside of the school, and how do those start to shape up. And we also had another meeting on the park across the street, because part of this project is to put in an antique park. So when we get through, you're going to have an entire new site for this entire site, and also across the street. And that will be completed in the fall of 2020. Floor plans of the building, if you've been to the previous meetings, have pretty much stayed true to, I think, what the mission was, but we have basically a central spine that goes through the school, connects all the public spaces. We have administration here, pre-K and kindergarten, a multi-purpose room, cafeteria. We have a stage that works both ways, to the gym on one side and the cafeteria on the other side. We also have what we're calling the auxiliary gym, okay, which is over here. We have locker rooms in between. We have the music program, which is here. We have kitchen and deliveries that come in off this side, off Glen. And as you continue going down what we'll call Main Street here, we have the Learning Commons. We have the Innovation Center, which actually stretches in this block right here. We have art. And the way the school is set up, for those of you who have not been here, is pre-K and K have their own wing, they're separate. They have their own playground area out here. And then we have grades 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 on the upper floor. And they're organized around these two houses with project rooms, resource rooms, and the upstairs plan is pretty much very much similar to that. And you'll see that we have a notch in the end of the buildings that allows us, at some time in the future, if the school expands and we need to add on some classrooms, we could add on 2 classrooms on either end of the wings of those buildings without building more stairs, more elevators, more corridors. We can just add on those classrooms. So we have some flexibility here that we built into the plan and how it fits on the site. Some images from the outside of the building. I know these appear to me to be a little muddy. I think it's part of the graphics, but we're looking at a red brick building for the most part. We're looking at low sloped roofs with good overhangs, and we're looking at a couple different cladding, architectural metal cladding on the building, a couple different types that have a nice shadow line that will give the school some texture and some scale. You'll notice that we have some small windows that are showing up here in some of the early education classrooms on the lower floor that really speak to the scale of the younger students in those classrooms. The front of the school has lots of visibility to the parking, to the drop-off areas with the administration, and that also has a big overhang to protect upon, folks coming and going to the school. So this view here is looking off the parking lot. We have sort of a crenellated or an angular front to the front of the dining commons. That helps with acoustics. It helps give the sort of school a little bit of scale. The pre-K is down here, which is over here, which also shows up here. Yep, and this is the view off of Bennett Drive. This is the Learning Center in here. Here's the end of the buildings that have this little notch where we can infill a couple classrooms that can expand if we need to sometime down the road. We'll have lots of natural daylight in the building. Up above, along Main Street, there's a central stair that goes upstairs. And the intent is to have lots of natural daylight come into that stair, so it's visible. We're going to have lots of borrowed lights on the inside between some of the big spaces. So when you come into the lobby and you go down Main Street, you can be able to look into Learning Commons, look into the Innovation Center, look into the art room, see the students working and see this transparency and this light coming into the central portion of the school. I did not bring in any interior shots. I just brought these exterior shots. But it's primarily a red brick building, and with some accents and some nice overhang on the roof and well-sloped roofs for the most part. I guess at this point, I'm just opening up for questions. If folks have questions, we want to take a closer look at the boards up here too. You have most of the slides except for phasing. Are there any questions about phasing and about scheduling time?
I don't really have questions. Would you restate what you said about the new superintendent's office and how the state's paying for it? You could give us some details.
Sure. The new superintendent's office is roughly about 3,500, 3,600 square feet. It was, when we met with the State Department early on in the process, I felt strongly that they would have to provide us with a superintendent's office because the superintendent's office is currently in the Learning Center. And that's a building that's part of the project and being torn down. So the other option would be to pay it on our own or to find a lease space somewhere in town. And the state, after a few meetings, were willing to go ahead and provide us with $500,000 for a superintendent's office. The bids come in a little bit higher, which they always do, just like at your house if you were doing construction. They always come in higher, it never comes in lower. But the state does have a contingency fund built into the whole process, so for $525,000 roughly, the contingency fund covered the $25,000, so the taxpayers of RSU 39 will not have to pay for that office at all for the construction. You're welcome. Yes.
Getting back to the plans, where's the music room?
Yes.
And where's is the extra gym?
Yes.
In the picture?
Sure. Good question.
Yep, band and chorus are right here. With the additional space, there are larger spaces. And then the auxiliary gym is right here. And Glen Street is right here.
So we situated a second gym in the first gym so we could share locker rooms to save on cost. So this gym will be practice facility, community use, whatever. But this one will have the bleachers and the scoreboards and set up for performances with the stage or activities. And then this is the band room that is slightly larger. And we really, that was a good thing. And we want to thank the community for that because the schools that we visited so far, because of storage of instruments, they didn't have enough room. And their instruments were all over the place, kind of dangerous. So they said it was a good idea to increase the band room anyway, which is what we did.
Will the spare gym be planned so that eventually if they want to put scoreboards, they'll be able to, or?
Oh yeah, we'll probably have it wired for all that, and, but it's just that we used it for instruction for schools, and it may come with a scoreboard. We're not quite at that point yet, but it won't have like seating capacity with bleachers or anything like that. But hopefully, I mean, a scoreboard will be something that will probably be done. Good question. Yes.
Is there a phone number where the public could call if they have any questions?
Definitely. You can call my office, 496-6311.
Thank you.
Bruce?
Where are we on the fundraising for the additional gym?
Yeah, last number I was given was, Mark, 530? No, it's 497, I believe. It's just under 500. 497. Not quite 500. There's still groups out there that said they're going to donate. They haven't yet. I think as the process phases in, you'll see probably more people giving. So, but almost $1 million, $500,000. Which goes to your extended band room and extra gym. That was the only local cost. Yes.
How many students? How many students were there?
How many students? This school was built for 750 students. Currently, if you were to ask me what our elementary population is, it's around 781. And they used a study by the state to project population, and we'll go down slightly over the next few years, but it's built for 750. And it would be pre-K to 8. And currently, like I said, in the Caribou schools, we have about 781.
Hopefully it's a good thing we plan those extra rooms.
Yeah, it's a big job moving into a new school, and every school that we visited said that the teachers are gonna have a hard time with it because we're gonna have all brand new furniture, brand new chalkboards, brand new whiteboards, brand new computers, all part of the project. So we really can't allow a lot of other things in. So, you know, as we move the buildings right now and work with our teachers, we got 3 years to kind of say, you need to kind of sort through what really can go, which is not much. A box maybe about that big, and what has to stay home, so. Because we'll have brand new everything in the classrooms. And if you bring in all this stuff that we've been using, it's gonna overload everything, so. There'll be teaching materials, of course, that they'll definitely gonna need, but. And we're gonna have we've been tossing it around, we think we might, there's money in the budget to allot for furniture, of course. And there's also money in the budget, 5% that allots for a firm working with you to purchase your furniture to kind of match up with your school. Because not all of us are experts on floor tiles and furniture and stuff like that. So the schools we visited have all gone to a third party, and they've kind of taken care of it. And PDP does that service also. So it kind of matches up. We were in a school last week in central Maine, and every teacher pre-K to 5, went with rocking chairs in their classrooms. So every teacher, part of the project, got rocking chairs because they greet the kids with reading circles, and it was interesting to see that. And their library was beautiful. The furniture just matched the decor and the makeup of the building. So I don't want to be the one picking on the furniture because I'll be blamed for everything. But that will all go through the building committee too. The building committee meets once a month, second Fridays. And you're more than welcome to attend any of those meetings if you like. 8 o'clock, superintendent's office at the Learning Center. Yes?
Is the square foot per student requirement more or less or the same for this as it was when the old schools were built?
I believe we're a little bit more in this project, and I'm thinking it was 158.
Yes.
Yeah, there's 158 square feet. This project probably would be, actually we were 152, and this project is about 148, so we got a little bit more square footage because we included the 5th grade into the middle school, just per se, let's say, and it gave us more square footage per student. So it was kind of semantics, but we got a little more square footage. And it's about 800 square feet, 850 per classroom. And all our other buildings are about 750, 800, so they're going to be comparable. Hilltop has some wonderful classroom size, comparable to Hilltop.
Addressing special needs and all of that. So what's happened over the years is people have found closets and places to make that work, and this is really the new thinking and new program. So there is more square footage per student than what we used to do, for sure.
When we built, when the building committee was formed and looked at building this building, we wanted a nice school for the residents of Caribou, of course, in the RSU. But also, we didn't want bell towers and all kinds of fancy pieces. But one thing I want to draw your attention to is the Innovation Center. I think we're going to be the first school in Maine with an elementary that has an Innovation Center. And we've been studying it, looking into it. We visited schools in Rhode Island. We went to the University of Maine at Orono to look what they had to say in the engineering field. And they're amazed at this concept of having an Innovation Center into our school. So we don't have a lot of space currently for hands-on projects and labs in our current schools, but we will with this school. And we're hoping it to be the hub, that kind of what drives the instruction, using hands-on, problem-solving, group, community-based issues, kids, designing and building things, using math, using science. We're excited about it. It's going to be a little bit of a different way of teaching with teachers in those grade levels, but robotics is a big thing right now. Lego robotics is a big thing. We had a team in the middle school that got first place in the county, and we really don't have a full-blown robotics program, and they went up to Fort Ken at a competition and won first place. We had a couple groups of high school kids that went down to Orno and got first place in the WING project for engineering and won first place. So we've been trying to work with Orno, the university, a little bit to try to become a little more STEM-oriented to go into their engineering field because they love the Caribou graduates that go into engineering in Orno. We have a number of them there. And those kids that won first place each get $20,000 to go to University of Maine if they choose that first school. We're doing great things, and I think this Innovation Center is going to really solidify this future of learning that, you know, I wasn't used to, I didn't have in my school, but today it's almost, you know, evident that we have stuff like that for kids to shine with. So it's going to be really neat. I'm hoping we become like the center point that people come and see how the Innovation Center works in schools. And there are certain schools in Maine you go to visit because they have special programs. We're hoping this is one. Yes.
Are you gonna have tours of the old school before it's torn down?
Keep what?
Tours of the old school, like middle school and Tea Park?
Yeah.
Will you have like an open house or something?
Yeah, we're gonna, there was a group that did an open house at Hilltop, and I know Cheryl's here, and thank you for that, and it was led by community members. We're gonna have open houses. We wanna have a time capsule, and I'd like to, this is just my thinking, I'd like to put a time capsule like right here in the main of the school and open it up in so many years, and you know, take something from Hilltop, take something from the Caribou Middle School, take something from Tea Park, the Learning Center, put it in the time capsule, and then, well, there is actually a time capsule in the Learning Center that we have to find. I think we know where it is. But it's straight out the doors and almost after the parking lot on the lawn. We're going to try to dig it up before the construction tears it down, and of course have a little bit of a celebration and open it up. But we're hoping as we phase out these schools, we do this with the public. Just an awesome showing of the public at Hilltop that Sunday afternoon. It was amazing. I spent an hour there, and it was just one after another. We had ice cream, we had pictures, we had memorabilia. It was great. Teachers who taught there for years came back. We had T-shirts saying if you either attended school or taught there. It was really good, and it was put on well done. So, very proud moment to be a superintendent of the district. So. Yeah, we had an option agreement with the city that we turned over Hilltop to the city, and Hilltop is then, the city's going to be looking at giving the Hilltop facility to a third-party construction group, and in that construction group there is some land next to Sincock that's owned by the Soderbergs. They're going to give the land to the town, they're going to tear down Sincock, bulldoze it up for a park for that end of the city, and then take over Hilltop. And it was kind of there was no money exchange, it just was like a win-win-win. So we're going to also be eliminating that building, which is starting to fall apart, and there's bricks falling down every day. So that's going to be probably midwinter, that will be tore down, and then bulldozed up in the spring, and then you'll see, probably in the fall, you'll see some renovations started on Hilltop for a senior housing facility. So. It's going to be a senior housing facility.
Yeah, the playground itself up there. Playground.
The playground, oh. Well, I think Frank might be able to help me with the playground, but part of that playground is going to be used by the town for the Little League. They're going to be moving some of it by the Little League Park, and I believe some of that was purchased by Rotary, and I believe it now some of that's going to go to the new school. Is that factual? Yeah. Yeah, okay. So there's some new stuff that's purchased by the Rotary for the school. That's going to go to the new school. And there's some older playground stuff that's going to go to the Little League Park kind of next door for the kids to use during the games and stuff. Yes?
And how big is the building? How many square feet is the building?
13. 113.
This one now,
approximately 120,000 square feet.
Well, the building's like 113, but you add on the biomass plant over here somewhere, when we built it, that's why I added it, but it's pretty big. Yeah, and it's in a tight spot. But you're gonna have a whole new Bennett Drive experience when you drive out through there. You know, with your wellness center and your new school and the new park. They're gonna be putting a third lane, a turning lane into Bennett Drive. You may see Glen Street from Park Street up be one way for additional parking in one way. And the residents that have talked to me like the idea. So, and that was brought up by the city manager, Austin Blees, and the police chief and the highway people. So it kind of helped us save a little money because we needed more parking, but now we have it if we do a one-way lane. So. And it'll be safer with buses.
What did you say the General Assembly area was? How many will that seat?
Good question. The General Assembly would be right about here. That bleachers is about 250. They wanted, it was like 180. We argued and argued. So they gave us the space for 250, and the local had to buy the hardware for the bleachers, which was a minor cost compared to the extra space in the building. So you'll have a bleacher here for about 250, a stage area, full basketball court, and then you can also access a public facility here in the cafeteria with a stage area here too. So, and when we had donors donate various amounts of money, we'll have banners going up around the gym of who donated to kind of give thanks. And then I think 1% of the project, or maybe slightly less than 1%, is for art. So the Maine Art Commission will come in, they'll look at our building, and then they produce the art of their choice that goes in the building. And every new school in Maine has that under the law.
So there won't be an area like this?
Yeah, you know, we had to say, okay, the state wouldn't allow it. The state would allow it if we would have paid for it. But in their specs, it wouldn't have been in that project because of it. And we figured we have this beautiful place, so if we had something of that performance, we would bus kids up to here and use this facility instead of maintaining two. And I think if we wouldn't have had something like this, we probably would have said, let's do something for the community that way. But since we already have this, we said we wouldn't do that. So, good question.
Where's the main entrance?
We kind of refer to this as Main Street, and this is the main entrance. And we've had a couple of variations of that main entrance. This is also a multi-purpose room, and it could be used for various school activities, PE, winter recess, dance academies, class reunion meetings. It could be used for anything from the community. So, and we kind of strategically put it right by the main entrance, so you didn't have to go too far in the school. But we want it to be multi-purpose. So, if there's a festival going on in the town and they want to sell baked goods or have an arts and craft piece, like we do here at the high school, that's something that could be done down there too. So multi-purpose is kind of what we're looking at now.
And I was going to say, we've been trying to organize it such that you don't have to open up the entire school to use that space. You come in the front lobby, as Mr. Doak was saying, go right into the multi-purpose room, have bathrooms, have amenities well.
Yes.
The extra gym and the larger music rooms, how much was that above and beyond that the public has to come up with their donations?
Right. 2.6 million.
Okay.
So it's roughly about 5% of the project, and we got almost $500,000 right now. So hopefully, the goal of the group was to raise $1 million. So every little bit we can raise will be less on the taxpayer. But that 2.6 and whatever it's going to be less is stretched out over 20 years in your tax bill. Not the next year, it's 20 years. So by the time you get to the 20 years, it's not a lot in the taxes. So. Well, good. So this means that we can get to the summertime, huh? July 1st is right here, and summer's gonna happen. So we'll do this again. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll be here, and I'm gonna be here if you ever wanna come up and ask a question that maybe you didn't think you wanna ask in front of everybody, but we'll do this again in the fall. You'll see some movement. As a superintendent, I just wanna see something tore down right now, just because we've been telling you guys this and telling you this. I just wanna see something get tore down, so it's gonna happen, so we're excited. Golden opportunity for the